And I just want to take you to 5:18 through 20, where he says, "Here is what I have seen. It is good and fitting for one to eat and drink and to enjoy the good of all his labor, in which he labors under the sun all the days of his life, which God gives him, for it is his heritage." All right, so there it is again. Eat, drink, enjoy your work. If you can do that, it's God's gift to you. Now here's the other side of that coin, or the other possibility. Verse 19. "As for every man to whom God has given riches and wealth, and given him power to eat of it, to receive his heritage, and rejoice in his labor, this is the gift of God. For he will not dwell unduly on the days of his life." That's the same teaching. What I'm looking for is actually in 6:1 and 2, where he says, "There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, and it is common among men. A man to whom God has given riches and wealth and honor, so that he lacks nothing for himself of all he desires. Yet God does not give him power to eat of it, but a foreigner consumes it. This is vanity, and it is an evil affliction. If a man begets 100 children and lives many years, so that the days of his years are many, but his soul is not satisfied with goodness, or indeed he has no... I say that a stillborn child is better than he." What he's saying is, if you work hard and you get rich and you've got all the finest foods in the world, but you can't enjoy it, that's vanity. And the reason you can't enjoy it is because God hasn't given you the gift of being able to eat and drink and enjoy the good of your toil. Look down at 6:12, where he introduces the topics that he's going to pursue for the second half of the book. "Who knows what is good for man in life, all the days of his vain life, which he passes like a shadow?" So he's going to stay with this question, who can find what is good for man? And then the next part, who can tell a man what will happen after him under the sun? Those are his two topics. What's good and what's coming after. And he's going to explore those topics in the second half of this book. So the book divides neatly there at 6, 9, and 10. Look at the end of 6:9. This also is vanity and grasping for the wind. And then he introduces the second half in 6:10. And look at the conclusion of the first question, which comes over in 8, 16, and 17. Oh, I'm sorry. We should note again the positive teaching of the book, again in 8:15. "So I commended enjoyment, because a man has nothing better under the sun than to eat, drink, and be merry. For this will remain with him in his labor all the days of his life, which God gives him under the sun." Now, this is not a commendation of what Paul condemns, okay? You know, Paul says, if there's no resurrection, we might as well eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. So these two statements are not at odds. I think what Paul is saying is, if there's no resurrection, that's all there is for us. And what Solomon is saying is, well, while you live, you ought to live that way. Don't you think it's ungrateful somehow if God says, I'm going to bless your work, and I want your work to thrive and produce glorious fruit, or let's say, lots of money, and then you say, oh, I can't have that. I can't, no. I think, I don't want my kids to respond that way, you know? If I give my kids a gift, let's say I get my son a new baseball glove. I want to give him the baseball glove, and I want him to be like, yes, hallelujah, this is great. I don't want him to say, oh, I can't have that. Give that to somebody else. That's going to make me an idolater. I want to say, no, it's not. You're not going to so focus your heart on that gift that you stop loving me. I want you to receive this gift as a token of my affection for you And I want it to make you want to be thankful to me, and I want you to feel love, and then I want us to take this gift, and I want to play catch with you, and I want to play ball with you, and I want us to enjoy this gift over long years together. And this gift is going to be part of the bond, that when you're old and I'm gone, you think about the way that you used to play catch with your dad. And then I want you to do this with your son. I want you to spend time with him. This is an expression of love. And I submit to you that everything in the world, whether we're talking about fruit or flowers or sunsets or money, ought to be thought of the same way. We shouldn't take this attitude of, oh, God has given me this expression of love, and I've got to guard myself against it lest I become an idolater. Well, just don't be an idolater, Love God through it. 8:15, so I commended enjoyment, because a man has nothing better under the sun than to eat, drink, and be merry, for this will remain with him in his labor all the days of his life, which God gives him under the sun. It's like he's saying, your life's going to be hard enough. You're going to have enough affliction. Cancer's going to kill people that you love. People that you love are going to die painful deaths, and you're going to get sick, and you're going to be weak, and your life's going to be horrible in many ways because of sin and the fall. While you can, enjoy what you have. And then, when the dark days come, remember the good times. 8:16, when I applied my heart to know wisdom and to see the business that is done on earth, even though one sees no sleep day or night, then I saw all the work of God, that a man cannot find out the work that is done under the sun. For though a man labors to discover it, yet he will not find it. Moreover, though a wise man attempts to know it, he will not be able to find it. The 3 times, you can't search it to the end. I'm looking for what is good, and I can't get to the bottom of it. That's what he's saying. And then he goes to the second question, what's going to come after? And in 9 through the rest of the book, really, until the final poems, he's exploring this question of what's going to come after. And in part, the conclusion comes in 11, 5, and 6. As you do not know what is the way of the wind, or how the bones grow in the womb of her who is with child, so you do not know the works of God who makes everything. In the morning sow your seed, and in the evening do not withhold your hand, for you do not know which will prosper, either this or that, or whether both alike will be good. It's like he's saying, you don't know what's going to come after. You don't know whether it's better to sow in the morning or in the evening, so do both and hope that God prospers it. There are just mysteries that you're not going to come to the bottom of, he's saying. You're not going to know fully what comes after. So you need to eat, drink, enjoy your life, and then you need to, as he says in 12, 9 through 14, you need to fear God and know that everything's going to come under judgment.